So, last time on our adventures, I think the most major thing that happened was finally getting the synergy grind, which, in theory, would open up a whole lot since it opens literally the other half of this world map. But in hindsight, I'm not sure if it's gonna really be as interesting as I thought. Guess there's one way to find out. Before we get too deep into that though, I do recall from editing that there are a couple places involving reveal that I overlooked. Well, at least one in particular, so how about we go take care of that first? The reality is, like, if nothing else, there's things that we can reveal check in Champa. And I'm trying to remember if there was anything else in a similar vein that we didn't get, but I know we did a lot of reveal checking near the end of the last stream. Like this, for example. We'll use those lucky medals someday, I suppose. I mean, it'd probably be the least constructive thing that we could get at the moment, but I really want to get Mind Read. And finally move on with the animal quests. Because for one, the poor doggy is going hungry every time we speak. Right. I recall Elio's had synergy, but I only recall Briggs being... That's the first time I think I recall anyone besides Briggs even bringing that up. What sort of lovely artifacts have you find in the ruins that I have not? That is something. And I'll sell one of the quest items for inventory space. And only because I don't trust myself and there's so much menuing to go through. I'm keeping the milk, because I need to be reminded that the doggle is hungry at all costs. But yeah, it's tucked away in the corner, but it is there. Oh, there is something. Just a little elixir, but doesn't hurt to check. Yeah, is there anything else that we can do here besides that one reveal? We got Parch. Yeah, there was that area in Uzmo that we could do with Parch, but I definitely already took care of that. You know what? If there's anything else, I can come back for it. I think it's time to finally start exploring the western map of the sea. Away we go. And that's the most menacing seagull that I think I've ever seen. I guess that's something I can talk about. Oh, and it's gone. So at long last, it's time to finally make use of the primary purpose of grind in this entire game. Yep, they invented an entire synergy for that one roadblock. Granted, we got a lot of use out of it, and way more creative use out of it in Treasure Isles, but I believe those 2 points are the only time in the entire game where grind is used. They really did make up a synergy just to roadblock us from going to Jupiter Lighthouse before the whole scene in Lumario. Did I really just call it Lumario? I meant Lumaria. Not even gonna bother to cut that out. But yeah, pretty sure in the initial game that grind solely exists to prevent you from going to the Jupiter Lighthouse before going to Lumaria. And hey, I'm not gonna fault the game too much for that, because there's a good handful of situations throughout the entire series of synergies essentially existing for one roadblock. It's never something that really bothers me too much because of how many synergies are used in creative ways, but I also wouldn't complain if they do improve upon that in future entries. Granted, this is Golden Sun, so saying future entries is wishful thinking as is, but with the game designer mindset that I have, it never hurts to look into ways to try to improve the things you already enjoy. I did bring up the whole thing that happened with Ground on the on the randomized on the modding Discord. So like the whole thing is known. I'm not sure if we really figured out what was causing it, but it is something that they are aware exists now. I was gonna say, yeah, we've been to Madra already. I was trying to sail over to this island because it looked like there was a few land masses that we couldn't really do anything with. I was kind of curious if there was anything new, but actually, if that's Misalka... Misalka? I've been bad with pronouncing everything lately. By lately, I mean like the past couple years. So to say it feels like so much in the map that has literally nothing in it. But knowing that's there, I'm well aware there's absolutely nothing in that entire area. But yeah, getting Isaac's party, there's gotta be some benefit to the randomizer for it. And if nothing else, I suppose that it would be good for giving us more inventory to work with. That's a long story short of that entire tangent. Actually, have we seen I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her name. I can't do anything else tonight. Why would I even try to do that one? But yeah, like it's so basic of a summon that I've even seen it in vanilla playthroughs that I've done recently. So I didn't even think about mentioning or like giving that summon some time in the spotlight. Better late than never, I suppose. Yeah, and then there's that hint that I accidentally stumbled upon that basically said that we need to go to the Mars Lighthouse before being able to get hover for the Jupiter Lighthouse. I think it was. It was something about needing to go to the Mars Lighthouse early. And, you know, why is it the most cursive summon, or the most cursive weapon unleashed, that always gets triggered? Finding something different for Jenna can't come soon enough, because I didn't mind at first, but I'm kind of starting to see what the rest of the chat was feeling about that unleashed now. You know? Oh, wow, this is where Magma Rock is, but... Okay, I see why you normally wouldn't be able to come here without Isaac's party. I was thinking like, wow, we could get here with practically nothing. Why don't go here so much earlier on in the game? But... yeah, it's really blocked off by a Golden Sun 1 synergy. Which could mean that we end up doing this early, which would line up with the hint, because we need the Magma Rock from here in order to get to... Oh, that's right, it's randomizer. Would the Magma Rock work like a randomized item? Because it's not an item in the chest. But then again, the randomizer here is kind of programs things like reveal to be randomized, and that's not in the chest. This large patch of wood would be a place to hide a Ginny. If I was a malicious game developer, like whoever decided that putting Ginnies on the world map with no major indication of where they be was a good idea. Flash out. You go, ooh, an evil punch ant. Why am I blinking out on the default names for them all of a sudden? But yeah, certainly wasn't expecting that coloration today. Either way, it'd probably be faster to teleport to my boat and go from there. That is not where my boat was. Cool. You think I would have learned a lesson last time, but it definitely clicked now. The boat shortcut does not work. Unless I randomly want to go to that bottom part of the map. I think if I remember from the guide, it was in that upper left area. So I guess it wouldn't hurt to turn on Void and check, especially if I do some... Nah. That's right over here, I barely even need to kill the time. It's the riddle of the rock, just passing through, here's some advice. Stay clear of the mountain. I don't know what treasure's up there, but it's not worth your life. This seems like a random town, but it seems like it's put here for lore building, and more specifically for giving you a hint on... Oh, that's just a normal looking metal. I guess because it's not a chest, so it wouldn't have been randomized. Well, whenever we do get Cyclone, at least we have access to a very easy check. Where to next? Definitely not used to being on this side of the map, so... All I know is that we need the lava stone in order to get to Prox, which apparently we need to go to Prox in the Mars Lighthouse before we can take on Jupiter Lighthouse. I guess I'll figure things out as I go. Like that suspicious cave out in the corner. Oh yeah, there's probably like stuff on this side of the map that's the other thing that we would need Isaac's party for. To actually be able to fly over the very shallow rocks like that. That's probably how we get in here, and maybe how we get all the way over to that cave. But alas, that's not in the cards for us at the moment. Don't we need to go in there to get to the Jupiter Lighthouse in the first place? If so, how do you actually get, you know, in there to get the wings in the first place? Oh, I am way off course. I'm trying to get into this little island just to see. From what I can tell right now, we need... Main dungeon that's on my mind to complete is Gaia's Rock, but we need growth in order to finish it. We at least supposedly need it for the maze, which I guess I could do blind, but I have no intention to do that blind. Morphle. There's actually nothing we can do here until we get left is in there. Hold on. It's too early to give up. Push this down here. Now we can put the passageway over here. I think that's just an optional gym, which isn't going to show up in the randomizer. I mean, but hey. I came all the way over here, and I can't think of anything else to do on this remote island. Might as well see. Something tells me that post-commentary is really gonna come in and save the day. There is a genie blocked off in the distance, but I need lift in order to get to that one. But if there's a genie here, that makes me feel a lot more confident that there's actually something we can get down this path. And it's boots. I mean, that's not nothing. Maybe it is nothing. All this time I didn't even realize that there was a synergy type behind a boot. Well, back off to the worldwide yonder, I suppose. Yeah, don't really see anything to do here. I also just remembered that I had a void off in the first place, so... Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to take encounters, just to make sure I don't get too underleveled. You know, when Liquefier just obliterates so many things, why am I even bothering with these spread spells? Let's just do that again. It's pretty cool that we got those abilities. I've always been a sucker. Oh, there it is! There's the Ginny! I knew I wasn't crazy. Alright. The problem is, I didn't really come in with a plan. So how do we get this thing before it runs away like the coward it is? Just go for an attack boost. And... yeah, maybe go for a stun. But sooner or later, our strats are basically going to boil down to spamming Liquefier. Well, that is fast. And I don't know what it is. We did get experience from that, but for some reason I'm under the impression that usually if an enemy is defeated or dies from poison, then you just miss out on that experience altogether. Maybe because Ginnies are a little more scripted and they don't vanish like other enemies do. Oh, did Harpy get upgraded, or did Harpy get upgraded to Griffin because of all the Mars gens? I guess we'll play around with Griffin first then. Dang! Griffin busted. Thing is, it seems like anything that's a single target synergy is so much more powerful than our spread damage. I know that's how it's supposed to work, but it's like to the point where it's more efficient to do 2 single target attacks than 2 spread attacks, even if there's like 3 enemies on the field instead of just 2. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how much I could actually blame the randomizer on for that. But to quench my own curiosity, yeah, Harpy gets upgraded to Griffin. Makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's how it works with this show Beast Tamer class. But it's still enough for me to find pretty fascinating. And the damage we were doing with Griffin kind of rivaled what we could get with Liquefier, which is kind of nuts in and of itself. Let's see how Harpy looks. Yeah, that's a significant downgrade in pure terms of damage, which makes sense, but now I know that there's good reasons to actually have Jenna keep all of her gens on set. Something tells me that that whatever episode this stream falls under is gonna have more to do with me messing around with battles and my abilities than it's actually fighting items, which I guess could be fun, like a little change of pace from the typical thing that comes out of a randomizer video. I just hope that other people find it as interesting as I do. Yeah, look at that solid damage. It's pretty impressive stuff for something that's honestly not so flashy. I mean, I guess it's debatable. Like, the fact that you're summoning a monster is pretty flashy in of itself, but the attack that the Griffin does isn't too flashy, if you know what I mean. Like, all the flashiness goes to the fact that you're summoning a monster rather than the attack that the monster is actually doing. Alright, I still can't believe that this entire landmass only exists to hide a Jinn. At least it makes it really obvious that there is a Jinny on the island, because there's literally nothing else of note. But that still feels like a bit of a waste of an entire landmass, if I say so myself. You know, I was just saying that single target synergy seems so powerful that it's not even worth going for the spread. But call it force a habit, I just subconsciously chose nothing but spread damage moves until practically the end of my sentence. Well, we'll see how it goes. If we wipe everyone with spread damage, then I guess it was as effective, if not more so. Yeah, like, I don't see us clearing all those monsters with just liquefier times in a row, at least not as quickly, so yeah, I guess that was more efficient. The latter would be kind of funny. Also, love the name of the seagull enemy, Seafowl. I have a little bit of affinity towards seagulls. I just find them fascinating creatures. They can be They can either be cute, adorable, completely gangster, or total monsters. It's all up to the interpretation of the human eye and their personal experiences with the animals. And I find something fascinating about just how a single creature can be viewed in so many different ways. But then again, my personal interpretations is that I find them cute birds, though I do acknowledge there are more ugly moments. You gotta admit, that is a pretty cool attack. I'm just so used to it doing more. I remember like the wikis, considering it one of the most powerful genies in the game, and it just doesn't feel like it. I'm gonna guess that's because it's a multiplier. And the thing with attack multipliers is, yes, they're broken, but you don't really get a true grasp of how powerful they are until endgame. Which makes sense, that's like the whole point on a multiplier, just something that relatively gets stronger as you get stronger, without becoming obsolete. Do I go around this entire landmass just to check every corner? Because it doesn't really make sense to me that there isn't anything I can do. We can go into this river, so I think I'm gonna see just how far into it we can go. I think this is actually how we get to town. Navigating an elaborate river maze. Well, if so, that's definitely not it. Let's like just... No. I think this is actually how it's supposed to go. Yeah, that's where you attack the boat. No, we're not leaving quite yet. Oh, right, we can use parts in that area. I forget what's down there. I don't think it's necessary to beat the randomizer, but the faint glint in my memory recalls it being kinda neat. No, not there. Where the boss was, before it turned into a giant elaborate puddle in the middle of the boat. Which, thinking more about it, I mean, I guess cruise ships kind of have like tubs and other water masses inside them. And this does seem isolated enough. It doesn't seem like a hole in the boat, so I guess it's not that bad. Wait, I just wonder if there's actually something in here, though. Huh. So at least that takes care of everything here. I don't think there's really anything we can do in town at the moment. I don't even think it's worth exploring the Jupiter Lighthouse until we get Hover. But since we're all the way here, we might as well check out town and see what we can get. Excuse me. I get the feeling the answer is going to be not much. Eclipse. Who you calling not much? Not you, my friend. Did not mean to call you a sack of nothing. I mean, it'd be nice if you were something that actually helped me progress through the game, but I won't complain about getting Eclipse. I don't think there's really anything else to note in here. There might be things hiding under the bushes in that, but that is a problem for future Jackie K. Speaking of problems, Let me turn on encounters real quick, just to make sure they're not hiding a gym. I think we need to go one more round for here, just to make sure we're not missing out. And that'll be a perfect opportunity to show off Eclipse. And don't ask me why I decided to showcase every single one of the summons. It's been so long since I've seen some of these summons, at least in their sprite-based glory, that why not? Let's see them in action. They're helpful against the enemies. There's no reason not to use them, and I might as well give special attention when I do. And there we go. I'm gonna say, I think what really sells Eclipse is not the giant dragon, but that giant judgment level laser beam that it fires in the process. Alright. We had our fun, but I think I should at least explore one town proper before ending off the stream. So let's just get right into doing that. But first, there's this whole batch of ground. There's all this land. Are we sure there's not something hiding in all of it? Right, this is where the Jupiter Lighthouse would be. You know what? Out of curiosity's sake, how far can I go? I'm starting to remember not very far because Cyclone, but since we can just fast travel to town, I think I'm gonna run around here for the novelty. Yeah. And that's the end of the road already. Ah well. It was worth a shot. Since we came all the way here, I figured we should at least check. It might give me a good opportunity to get our synergy points back up. Oh. It's like I remember these things about Lost Age, but I don't remember exactly where they are. So when I go like, BAM! I've been more. It catches me off guard. Villagers are working their hardest to complete the wings to fulfill the prophecy. Yeah, I have a lot of coins. Part of me wants to save them for foraging, but well, we got free water of life. Might as well pick that up now. You know, for just one, it's not even worth pulling out. That mist potion is, though. And this is different from that somehow. Lucky dice. Oh, you know, this one's super lucky. So you can roll 4 dice on a single top. It's a push and you win your money back. 3 dice. All I saw was throw dice, get money, and you know, we have a decent amount of money, but we definitely are gonna need more if we're gonna forge all the stuff that we've got. Let's gamble some money. You know, I think it's important for me to be upfront about this. This dice minigame that I'm playing right now, that's the rest of the stream. The sad part is, what is essentially an hour of just dice rolling was probably the most fun part of this entire stream. So I'm gonna need some time to figure out exactly what I'm gonna do in terms of turning the stream into videos. Because on one hand, I'm not sure if anyone wants to sit through 30 to 50 minutes of dice rolling. On the other hand, I had so much fun with this dumb little minigame that it would be a shame to just throw away the commentary from it all altogether. So, we'll see. I might justify it as its own episode. It might become a little bonus episode that I throw on top of the usual upload schedule. We'll see how it looks once I take a look through it all again. Until then though, see y'all later.